Good morning, everybody. I hope you're all healthy and safe. For this week's English assignment is going to be practice exam training for the exam next month. So for next month, during the exam, you will get around 25 questions and they will all be multiple choice. So I want to go over the material and I'm going to give you some exercises to practice at home. Okay, so let's get started. We are only going to do 5 units, and the units will be 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. These are the units you've already discussed with Mr. Oren. Because I did not get a chance to teach you in person, we're going to do material you've already done. So let's go over the material together. So let's go to unit number 2. Okay, so that starts at page 15. Sorry. So you see a few advertisements, and the grammar is persuasive language. So I would like for you to study this. What is persuasive language? Okay, so persuasive language is used to persuade you to buy something, do something, or believe something. So you will probably get like a folder or a coupon or whatever, and there will be maybe 1 or 2 questions. So for example, what kind of language is it? Is it persuasive language to buy something, to do something, or believe something? So check it out. Okay, so what else is in unit 2? Okay, so on page 19 you have prepositions: in, on, under, to, with, between, behind, in front, and next to. So for the first assignment, this is going to be 1 assignment for each unit. So I would like for you to do exercise number 4. You have to choose the correct preposition. So for example, the first sentence: she went into or onto the school building. Okay, so in this case, she went into, not onto, because that would mean she would be on the building. Okay, so the first exercise I would like for you to do, exercise number 4, on page 19. Okay, so let's go to the next few pages. If there's something very important in this unit, you should be studying. Okay, so then we go to personal pronouns. So what are personal pronouns? So instead of using a name, like for example here, the example is Louis gave the box to Mrs. Jewis. Okay, so instead of using the names, we can use pronouns, personal pronouns. So it would become he for Louis gave the box to her, Miss Jewis. So these are the personal pronouns. You have subject pronouns and object pronouns. You should know by now what the difference is between the subject and the object. The subject is the most important character in a sentence, and the object is what the subject does or is going to do. So those are personal pronouns on page 26, and then on page 27 you have possessive pronouns. So possessive pronouns replaces the noun and show ownership: mine, her, his, hers, yours, ours, theirs. So practice that also a little bit. Okay, so then we can go to the next unit, unit 3. So Here it starts with verbs. You should know what a verb is by now. Verb is an action or doing word. And you have two kinds of verbs. An auxiliary verb, the most important verb, and the present participle. That is like a helping verb. It helps the auxiliary, the main verb, explain something. So she is walking to school. Is walking. Okay, what have we here? Adverbs. So adverbs are words that tell you about verbs. There are different kinds of adverbs. You have an adverb of place that tells you about where the subject is going. You have an adverb of time, so it tells you when something happens. You have an adverb of manner that tells you about how that person does something. And you have an adverb of degree, and that can tell you more about verbs or adjectives. Usually adverbs end with the suffix ly. Those words are almost always adverbs. Okay, so what else is in this unit? There's a lot of stories, so you will probably get also a story. Okay, so what do we have here? Well, suffixes. Okay, so here the suffix ly to make an adjective: quickly, beautifully, happily. Okay, so sometimes you need to take good care, take a good look at the word. Does it end with a y? Then usually the y changes into an I, and ly is added after that. Okay, so then we have adverbs of degree. So an adverb of degree can tell you more about an action, an adjective, or another adverb. Adverbs have degrees of comparison. So if you want to say, for example, high or higher, highest. So you have the normal adverb, in this case high, comparative to make it better or higher, and then you have the highest. So if it has two or more syllables, they will just add the word more and most. And then you have irregular, then the word changes. Okay, for this unit, on page 40, I would like for you to do exercise 4. So you have to complete the sentence and use the word, the correct form of the word that is between brackets. So delicious herbs grow in the witch's garden. So you have to use the word wild. So in this case would be delicious herbs grew wildly in the witch's garden. So I would like for you to do exercise 4 on page 40. Okay, so let's continue. Then we go to unit 4. Also a lot of stories. There will be a story in the exam. Okay, so this one is direct speech. So what is direct speech? When someone is speaking in a play or in a story. And then you have indirect speech. So that means tells you what someone has said. So that is always past tense. Sorry. So here an example says, Father Bear said we are going for a walk today. And then indirect speech becomes, Father Bear said that they were going for a walk that day. This is on page 53, and I would like for you to do exercise number 2. So change these sentences from direct to indirect speech. So the interviewer said Mr. Bear lives at Brown Cottage. So what would be the indirect speech, the correct one? The interviewer said that Mr. Bear lives at Brown Cottage. I would like for you to do the rest of the exercises. Okay, let's continue. Then we already go to unit 5. So all the things I explained a little bit, those will definitely come back during the exam. The rest, read it. If there are any questions about the material, please let me know. Okay, so then we go to page number 61. Then you have simple sentence. A simple sentence only have a subject and a verb. The girl sang. People shouted. So most sentences also need an object. The thing that the action happens to. So we ate. What did we eat? We ate breakfast. So you have the subject, we, the verb, ate, and the object, breakfast. Also remember that a subject or object does not have to be one word. It can be a phrase. For example, the girls in class 5, or the crowd on the beach. And then we have compound sentences. So a compound sentence are actually two simple sentences joined together by a word. So what are the words? We have like, and, but, so, because, when, then. Those words are called conjunctions. So the exercise for this unit, I would like for you to do exercise 6. So you have to join these sentences with the word in brackets at the end. Okay, let's continue. So what is a glossary? A glossary you will find in books. You don't have to do this. I'm not going to ask you anything about a glossary this time. Okay, so then we're already at unit 6. The last unit. So what is in the last unit? Okay, so then we get to page 69, and you have clauses. So what are clauses? A group of words with a verb, and it is part of a sentence. So you have the main clause, that's the most important part, and a subordinate clause. A subordinate clause adds something. So what are the examples here? He got a present, and because the word because is a conjunction, then the subordinate clause becomes he was lonely. So for this unit, I would like for you to do on page 69, exercise 1, all of them. Exercise 2, only A, D, and E. And for exercise 3, only B and C. So you have to fill in. So here you have to identify what the main clause and the subordinate clause is in the sentences. Here you have to make a main clause using the conjunction word, in this case because, to make a complete sentence. And here you have to make a main clause. Oh, sorry. So this is, you have to make a subordinate clause, and this is, you have to make a main clause. So you can make your own sentence. And what else is in this unit? So please read also, for example, this, how to build a story. It starts with an instruction. Something happens, then there's a climax of the events in the build-up. There's a resolution, and the end, a conclusion. And that's it. So if there are any questions about the materials, please let me know. Good luck.